Hello, hola, and buenas, buenas. Welcome back to La Cuna Galaxiana, a podcast made with love. On tonight's episode, we'll be looking at the stolen point in San Jose as the LA Galaxy went down to Stanford and tied 1-1 in the California Clasico. We'll be joined by Galaxy Outlaws photographer Christian Wise, who will be here to tell us all about the away day experience and what it was like getting the draw away in San Jose in enemy territory. Plus, Vanny departs the Galaxy. We'll fill you in on him leaving and what that means. All that and more coming up on La Cuna Galaxiana. DJ Cito, you know what to do. Spin it. G's up.
Yeah. Let's get it started with a new year, new me. Cuna Galaxiana still reporting on the news feed, yeah. And you know who it be, the 6-star from the Jersey, putting work in the league. Word on the street, we rip teams immaculately. We see the players come and go, but I'm forever a G. And you can catch me yelling tactics on the field when I leave. Get it together like I'm Vanny when I'm giving a speech. Back to the pitch, score goals, dribbling tricks. I heard a transfer window rumor, let me see who it is. I got statistics on the player, puzzle pieces that fit. Con este show que es tan bilingüe que tu papi lo ve. Rápido pues, hablando de este club otra vez. En las buenas y en las malas, we got love for the crest, love for LA. Let's get it started, light up the stage. Every week on Monday night I'm tuning into the place. Yeah, you know what it is. Es La Cuna Galaxiana, 4th season, Rob Ananda. And my name, ya te lo sabes.
Welcome back to another episode of La Cuna Galaxiana. And there's my camera. Welcome back to my camera as well. This is a podcast always made with love for all you Galaxy fans and all you soccer fans out there. Wherever you may be, you have a home here. We're glad you're stopping by and hanging out with us tonight. And tonight, it's going to be a good one because we have a special guest who was there, boots on the ground, at the California Clasico, and he's going to be here to tell us all about that. But let me tell you who I am. I'm one of your co-hosts, Rob Jalón. You can find my written work at the Sporting Tribune, and you can find me online at El Escudero de LA. And since I'm here, you know he's here as well. El yerno guapo, el campeón de the other land, pero más importante, el papá de Natita. Welcome back to my co-host, Ananda Kirana. Papa. All right. First things first. I was kind of checked out from Galaxydom this weekend because I was out of commission here. But at one point, I kind of looked up and the Galaxy was up 1-0, and I thought to myself, "Is it me? Am I the problem?" What was going through your head when the Galaxy were up 1-0?
It was probably too good to be true, almost perfect, shall I say? Ding ding. If you get that one, you get
yes,
it.
I do.
Because shout out to everybody that was at Warped Tour this weekend, including my co-host. So there you go, spilling the beans on.
It was a great time. It was a great time.
I saw some of the coverage. It was cool. It was
yeah,
good.
and a lot of G's were out there.
Good for us millennial folk. Yeah, I mean, a lot of G's were everywhere. A lot of G's were there. A lot of G's were obviously at the stadium. A lot of G's were at the watch party, and they were almost treated to 3 points. And Papa, they were actually almost treated to 0 if it were not for one brave soul, one brave man, of course. The man between the sticks,
Big JT, and we're not talking about Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, exactly. Who we will talk about, I'm sure, multiple points in this show, and I might as well talk about him now or tee it up for later. But
do it.
Getting into that one word, because you know how we roll in this show. I don't know if it's a word or a phrase, or I'm gonna make a run-on word or however you want to do it. But all I got to say to that game is JT mother effing Wowski. That's all I got to say about that game. It was all that's it. End of sentence. Period. Exclamation.
Okay. Can I give you two? Pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
I mean, I did call a loss in the prediction,
You did.
and I hate to call losses because
And your
I hate
co-host
to
was
be
right.
all negative, but I also got to call them like I see them, right? And going into this one, the Galaxy hadn't been playing well, and hadn't been getting results. And despite a 4-0 loss, the worst loss in the Bruce Arena era in San Jose had been playing great. And so I was just calling them like I see them, and yeah, pleasantly surprised that the Chiefs were able to go down to San Jose and show a lot of heart, and JT leading by example and showing kind of what must be done in those big moments, and shout out and kudos to him. But yeah, anyway, that's my one word, and we're gonna have a guest with us tonight who was boots on the ground. He'll be able to tell us what the actual feeling was there, what that moment was like when JT made that penalty stop, and we'll get into all of that as well. But guys, thank you so much for being here again. Like we mentioned, you guys helped us get to 900. Now we're on the march to 1,000. Yes, this is our obligatory plug for the show. But it's because we've been able to build an amazing community with your help, and we want to go ahead and add to Los Cuneros here to come and have some fun with us. So go ahead and keep putting your friends and family on. At Warp, Ananda, I saw G's out there, and I was giving them stickers and stuff like that. So yeah, if you see us out in the crowd, out in the wilderness, come and get a slap. And actually, I've gotten this a lot now, Ananda. You could either say it's Walter Mercado or Juanga. Up to you at this point. It's up to interpretation. But anyway, like we said, go ahead and keep on telling people about this humble little podcast. Well, until we get canceled anyway, because it's bound to happen at some point. Anyway, we're relying on you guys to be the hype men and women's. Super chats are available. If you got something to say, about your experience for this Cali Classico, if you have something to ask Christian, if you have something to say to Ananda or myself, let us know. Hit up the super chats. And of course, I let you guys know about this one last time. Pretty soon, we are going to have the written version of La Cuna. It'll be the written arm of La Cuna called Pravda Galaxiana. And yeah, watch out for that one. More announcements to be coming soon. Ananda, anything else to add before we do these shout outs? Shout outs.
Just that you guys can always follow me, block me, or stalk me at Ananda Galaxiana. I'm pretty sure Rob tagged himself there at El Escudero de LA if you want to find his written work. Like he said, right now he's on the Sporting Tribune, but of course we will have an arm of La Cuna Galaxiana called Pravda. So guys, check that out. That will be a Substack for sure. And papá, como siempre, antes de olvidarme, buenos días, tardes o noches y bienvenido a otro capítulo de La Cuna Galaxiana. It's not Safu hours, so it's just normal.
It could have been though, right? It could have been so close.
So close, and I was ready. I was about ready to throw my toys out the pram, as they say on the other side of the pond. So there you go.
You were going to be el vato of viven en el country. You're going to be that vato right there. Anyway, shout outs. El sábado, Saturday is Ghanaian Heritage Celebration Night at the Digs. You can go ahead and pick up your Ghanaian Heritage scarf when you buy the Heritage ticket pack. Each ticket pack includes the scarf, and I believe I saw that it starts at around 40-ish. So go ahead and check that out if you want to go ahead and pick this one up and show JP a little love. Saludos to you, brothers, Senor Edgar and Senor Pablo and Joe 13 Cool and Cthulhu and Rowley and Sir Dave. All y'all be showing us a lot of love, and thank you so much for it. If I forgot anybody, man, thank you guys so much for being here. Guys, something that we need to do, we need to show some love to the LA Galaxy Special Olympics Unified team. They're going to be in action in their last home match at the Galaxy's game against Dallas. So after Dallas, after Galaxy versus Dallas, the Special Olympics Unified team is going to be playing. So go ahead and stick around at the Digs for that match. I know El Par Padrino Pato will be there showing a lot of love. And I know a lot of the first team players show up and support the team as well. And yeah, I mean they need the love. So go ahead and get out there and show that love. And showing love to JT MarcinWOWski. We've already mentioned him a couple of times here. But congrats to him for making team of the match day for his heroics, including that game-saving penalty stop. Ananda, it's time for some team news. You kind of flashed the teaser there. There it is. There's the teasy. The Galaxy have signed Sebastian Hernandez from VCFC to a short-term agreement ahead of the Cali Clasico. This is when this deal went down. Of course, these have been a ton of these deals throughout the year as the Galaxy has been shorthanded through injury, suspension, what have you. Hernandez was on the bench. He's made 15 appearances for CFC this year, 1 goal, 1 assist. And he's another one to watch alongside defensive prospect Pepe Magana. He's another one to look out for. And of course, speaking of Pepe, shout out, friend of the show. He's been on before. Go ahead and check that one out in the back catalog. And another, staying with VCFC, we have a bit of news here. Breaking. Vanny leaves the Galaxy. No, not that one. Sorry, Dylan, wherever you are, it's not the news that you wanted. It is Dylan Vanny. Dylan Vanny has been loaned out to Real Betis in La Liga. The Galaxy announced that one today. He's been loaned out for the 26-27 season. The 18-year-old joined the Galaxy Academy in 2021 and had a bang on 2025 year as the Galaxy Academy Player of the Year, helping the U19s to the MLS Next Cup Championship. And not only that, but he was crowned the MLS of the tournament. Made 47 appearances between 24 and 26. Had 12 goals and 6 assists. In 15 appearances in 2026, he had 7 and 3. And in 26 appearances in 25, he had 5 goals and 3 assists. 3 caps as well with the U.S. men's the U19s team. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Let's try this one again, Ananda. The U.S. men's U19 team. Ah, man.
U19 national team?
God damn it, that was hard. And that's why I do this show and I'm not on MLS analyst or some shit like that, man. That is a tongue twister. Well, anyway, we wanted to go ahead and congratulate Dylan Vanny on his loan move to Real Betis. Someone was out there saying that Cucho Dylan Vanny bromance begins. I guess that would be a fun episodic series there. What do you think, Ananda? Chat. What are thoughts on this? Happy to see him go abroad. Are you kind of disappointed you never got to see him break through to the first team? Chat, let us know what you think on this one. Ananda, let us know. Break down what this move means for Vanny and what it might mean for the Galaxy going forward. I mean, do you think this is a temporary thing, comes back and kind of puts some time in the first team?
He needs to develop, right? And I think he's sort of reached his max at VCFC. I think this is an amazing move for him. This is also a good look for the Galaxy that, you know, they're sending quality players to abroad and to develop in Spain. And guess who won the World Cup, guys? It's Spain. So you know he's going to develop as a player technically and all of that. I mean, La Liga is a very good league. Real Betis is a very good team. I don't know. The only thing I don't know if he's going to play with the first team or if he's going to play with kind of like the second team or their junior team also, because every big top team in Spain has one of those. So it'll be interesting. I just hope he develops and he develops what he needs to and he gets some playing time. And I'm just hoping this is a fruitful thing and it's not just going to a big club for going to a big club's sake. But I mean, not a bad place to learn your craft at the country of the world champions. We cannot hear your mic, by the way. You're on mute.
No, I was just commenting. Definitely not, man. I mean, and this is a great thing for Dylan Vanny. I mean, I was already a big fan of Dylan Vanny. I mean, we saw him play at the CVI, and he did not look out of place. Maybe slightly undersized, maybe a little bit but you know how I've said a billion times that size doesn't make you a player. So, fantastic move from him for him, and I don't think this is going to be one of those things that he just goes and sits on the pine, right? Because I mean, Greg himself would not want that, right? He knows what happens to a player that just sits on the pine and just doesn't play. So you got to believe that Papa Vanny probably had input on this, and as much as any father would, and he has the benefit of also being a manager and kind of informing Dylan that way as well. So I think that he's gonna get some time. I think he's gonna probably be a part of the project, and congratulations to him. But yeah, I'm happy for him. Like I said, I'm a fan. So and it's great to see the Galaxy export that product.
I just hope he gets to train with guys like Isco, Giovanni Lo Celso, Cucho. I mean, what amazing players to train with. Not Anthony. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good players.
Come on, man. Why you gotta disrespect him like that?
I mean, I've heard you disrespect him spinning top multiple times, but it is.
Well, that's one thing, because who's a United player, and I could disrespect my own. That's. But anyway, shout out to you, Anthony. Hopefully, you're having fun out there in Betis. Well, congratulations to Dylan Vanny. Like I said, I'm bummed that for the moment anyway, we won't get to see him dress in MLS and play for the Galaxy first team. But maybe one day. But we had a lot of action in MLS over the weekend, Ananda. Are you ready for the MLS Matchday 18 roundup? Dale. Charlotte beat a 10-man New York Red Bull team 2-0 on the road. The Hellas Rio derby saw the hostilities spill over into the stadium hallways as both teams clashed. But in the end, the Crew won 2-1 on the field thanks to a Daniel Gazdag penalty. Inter Miami beat Montreal 1-0 away from home. Tyberibo scored a 100th minute game-winning penalty at home for DC United to win 2-1 over Toronto FC. New England routed Atlanta United as the host rolled to a 4-1 win. NYCFC also rolled to a 3-1 home win over Robert Lewandowski's Chicago team. Philadelphia shut out Seattle 1-0 to run out home winners. Houston also shut out Austin in an all-Texas affair, but beat them 3-0 behind a Mateus Bogus brace. Minnesota and Vancouver played to a scoreless draw. St. Louis beat Colorado 1-0 at home, while Antoine Griezmann inspired his Orlando side to a 1-0 win over Nashville. San Diego beat Dallas by the same scoreline at home. LAFC had their contest wrapped up versus SKC by halftime with a 4-0 45-minute blitz, and they won by the same scoreline. And Portland got the 2-1 home win over RSL with Felipe Mora being the star man with a brace. And remember, Galaxy and MLS fans, the MLS All-Star Game is Wednesday, July 29th versus Liga MX All-Stars. Go ahead and check that one out. And that is your MLS Roundup. And now, the moment we have all been waiting for. Are you ready, Ananda?
Let's do it, man. I'm still shaking my head that we got the double done over us by SKC, and LAFC just. But anyways, that is life. That is life. That is life.
I really like Nightmares. The wrong kid died. Paw Cox and Walk Hard comment. That's one of my favorite movies, and it's really funny in the context. Anyway, let's get to our guest of the evening, a man who not only takes some wonderful shots, but is out there boots on the ground taking shots of the Digs and the Outlaws on the regular. Let's please give a warm welcome to our guest of the evening, Galaxy Outlaws photographer Christian Wise. Welcome, man.
Hi guys, happy Monday. Thanks for having me.
All day, man. Are you recovering from this San Jose trip? What was it like? Are you drinking a lot of fluids?
Yeah, I think I can speak for all of us. All of us are probably recovering the next day or two. Yeah, I mean, the trip up there with Outlaws, it's always fun. It's always rowdy. It's definitely worth the 5 hours up there, 5 hours back. Regardless of the outcome, it's fun. And yeah, just it's a fun weekend.
Yeah, man.
We've
Saw your videos when we were just prepping here, but looks so. I mean, you guys were singing and laughing and joking. It looked super fun for sure.
well we've had Manny on. Shout out Manny.
Shout out, man.
But he's been on before, and he's talked about this trip, and he's talked about a trip where the bathroom broke, and I was like, damn, not el baño se dañó. Oh my god. Did y'all have the bathroom working on this one?
We had the bathroom working.
Yes, that's a
on the
win.
way there.
That's a
On the
win.
way back, it got a little crazy. I think about 3 hours in on the way back to LA.
Oh,
Yeah, we were still able to,
You're like, are we gonna make it? Oh no. Well, I know that the bus has also gotten stuck on the Grapevine a couple of times. It's great to see all the G's, all the traveling G's, get back home safely. We did see you guys on TV. As Ananda mentioned, I was at Warped Tour, so I caught the game on repeat, and it was fun seeing a bunch of G's that I knew on TV celebrating, and not only celebrating the goal, but celebrating the JT penalty stop almost as much as the goal. Christian, we do a thing on this show called One Word Reaction. You can give us a one word reaction to that moment, that JT stop, or to the draw against the old enemy San Jose Earthquakes. So you can take your pick. Go ahead. Or give us both.
I mean, one word reaction to the save, I'd say it was like unbelievable, just in the fact that I don't think any of us thought he was going to save it. It was sort of once they called the penalty at that point in the game, myself, the people around me, we were like, of course, this is how it's going to end. It's been a rough season.
Yep.
And even though I like MarcinWOWski, he's been, a lot better than Mitrovic up to this point in the season. It was sort of like, of course, this is how the game's going to end. We, fought tooth and nail to get to the 94th minute or whatever it was. Defended for, I think, after the 12th minute goal, 13th minute goal, the rest of the game. And then that happens. Like, I think it was unbelievable that, he managed to save it. And it was a good save, and, Royce called it out. If you saw the videos after the game, Royce pointed he's going to shoot it to the keeper's left. But,
Yep.
Yeah, no, it was great. I mean, Potter calling it. JT corrected his error. Yeah, I mean, if you guys didn't see it, and we'll cover it in a little bit, but yeah, no, JT brings Buddha down, and he actually saves the penalty on Werner. So he redeems himself immediately, and he becomes a hero. I mean, but this is the Cali Clasico, and heroes are made in this one. I mean, in our last pod, Christian, they were talking about McGee becoming a hero as a goalkeeper way back when, and that's what this fixture causes, right? Big moments and a lot of big memories. But now I want to dive into your memories, right? Let's talk about you here a moment. Cuéntame de ti. Let's talk about you, right? And we do something on here called I Used to Love Her, and it's basically your LA Galaxy love story. How you fell in love with La Toxica. What happened, man?
Well, so I was growing up in Torrance, 10 minutes from the stadium back when we got David Beckham. And that was my first experience going to the games. My dad took me and my family. Totally different environment around soccer at the time. And that was kind of just the first exposure to the team, which was a good jumping off point, I think, back when we had Beckham in those years, right? Beckham,
Absolutely.
Donovan, Keane. And so that was how I fell in love with the game. After that, got kind of rough after we won 2014. But I still went to the games even through the rough years. I remember there was one game that I went to, was like 7-2 against, I think it was Colorado at home, something crazy. And I'm pretty sure that was either 2016 or 2017, the wooden spoon year. But yeah, like I still stuck with them.
You put in your
Love
time in the
the team.
trenches, man.
Yeah, love the team, love the atmosphere, the environment going to the games. And ever since I joined Outlaws, this is my third year in Outlaws.
Shout out
First,
Outlaws.
yeah, I mean, they're the best. My first year was 2024, which was again, that was a good year to join,
That was a
support a
good year.
group.
Yep.
And just a good group of guys, good group of, fans that go to the games every single game, singing, chanting 90 minutes, and it's amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean we've had Manny and a couple of the boys from Outlaws on a couple times, and here's a reminder, Galaxy fans: if you are out there and you are looking for community, if you're looking for a fun time, if you're looking to support your team and make memories, join a supporter group. I mean, Christian's talking about his experience right now, and being a Galaxy fan and being a part of Outlaws for the past couple of years, and this is one of the things that you love to see, right? Because this is definitely community building and people getting together and building bridges and yeah, man, you love to see this kind of thing. So all that to say, guys, get out there. If you've been wondering, if you've been on the fence, get out there. I mean, Manny is one of the most personable people. Anybody in Outlaws, anybody in supporter groups, I mean, they would love to have you, and it's all just about supporting the G's. So get out there. Public
Or
service announcement over.
or Papa, you could also subscribe to Laguna Galaxiana because we have free group
Tight.
therapy
Good
sessions on
segue.
Mondays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. So if you don't want to, if you could join a supporter group and also join our group therapy sessions, it is 100% free. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Loco, I see what you did there. Well done, well done. Okay, well, Christian, we want to know who is on your Galaxy top 4 players list.
Top
You
four
mentioned
players,
Beckham already. Does he automatically get on there?
on my list, I don't think Beckham's on there.
Okay,
My list,
right.
I have to say Donovan. I gotta put Ricky. I mean, I love Ricky. Um, I'm gonna go with which may be surprising. I think I loved when he played for us, Yole Van Dam. I think he
Hey,
was. I
okay.
love watching him play
Shout
defense.
out Van Damme. Yeah, no, hell yeah, good shout, man.
And then fourth one, damn. I think just for the goals and the entertainment, I think Zlatan. Just you never knew what he was gonna do, game in and game out, and he
Yeah.
carried those teams.
You never knew what he was
So
going
I
to
think
say.
those four.
Yeah.
Oh man, I still remember the game where he just like pushed the hell out of Sebastian Lletget, and Sebastian was like, "What I do, son?" Like, oh man, Zlatan, he was bands, man, comedy. Also, Ananda Christian, I don't know if you guys saw this, but he said that he is retiring from commentating. He's like, it's a one and done. After the World Cup, I'm done. So, anyway, he's a legend on and off the field, I guess. So Christian, we've got a little bit of your Galaxy history. Let us know about your history here with your photography, man. Like, how did you start shooting, and then like more specifically, how did you get into shooting there at the digs and Outlaws and basically Galaxylandia and what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I started doing photography, not soccer related, just kind of street photography back in my first year at college. That was the first time I bought a camera, just picked it up, started shooting. Um, just shot street photography mostly, all the way up until I think 2023, which was when I first got a season ticket to the Galaxy. I was in section 109, right behind the bench. And at that point, I really got into film photography specifically.
Cool.
I followed a bunch of photographers, both Galaxy photographers, like Baby G's, if you've seen her work,
Yeah.
Ziggy, who's in Outlaws, Oscar, who's in Outlaws, and they're kind of the photographers that kind of inspired me to start shooting games. 2023 went by. That was actually the first year that I met Outlaws, was 2023. That's when I joined the bus to San Jose that year. And ever since I met them, I fell in love with the supporter group. and decided to just take photos of the supporter group. Sat with the supporter group the rest of that year for a couple games. Joined them in 2024, and from there it's just I love taking photos of the group, of the atmosphere, the energy. I just fell in love with it.
Yeah, no, man. It's funny that you said you met Outlaws in 2023 and you went up on the bus saw La Desmadre, and you were still like, yeah, I'll join that. That's just hilarious. Yeah. Shout out to Marvin, another one of the OG Galaxy photographers, and Alyssa is a badass shooter too, man. Shout out to all the Galaxy photographers out there. Big Jedi, we got Big Pate out there as well. And how could we forget the homie Mayo? Be a free Mayo for sure. But anyway, man, Christian, you were talking about this trip in 2023. We're here to talk about this trip here over the weekend and the bus trip. What was it like, jumping on the bus, and did you know like a couple weeks ahead of time that you were going to go? Was it like a spur of the moment thing? Like, were you mentally prepared? Like, did you have to wake up early? Paint that picture for us, man.
Yeah, I mean, I knew I was going to go on the bus this year. Usually we start to sell tickets, I think, about a month out from the actual game. And so, the bus can hold, I think, between like 45 and 60 people. The day of the game, basically we leave the stadium at 7 in the morning. And if anybody's ever been to a tailgate, right, and with Outlaws behind Victoria Block, it's basically a 5-hour tailgate on wheels. So we've got music, drinks, whole party atmosphere. And you'd be surprised at how fast 5 hours goes when you're having, drinks for the entire time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a good energy.
You're like, are we here already?
Damn. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we get there, we basically check into the hotel. We were staying in Cupertino, which is usually where we stay. Have about an hour rest, then head up to the pregame spot, and then from there to the game. So it's pretty much nonstop from the moment we leave the stadium in the morning.
Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about that point. Like, what was that like heading up to the stadium, going with the crew, and I've actually never been to Stanford Stadium, so I need to go.
Fun, man.
Yeah, I need to go catch a game there, but just tell us like all the vibes and everything that was going on leading up to the match, especially because usually this is one of those road games where there's a lot of Galaxy supporters. So for those that haven't made the trip, maybe convince them as to why you guys should make this San Jose trip, including me, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, like we have a bunch of fans that go every single year. Not only people that take the bus. There's two buses, Outlaws and there's ACB. We have buses that go, but there's more people that drive up there, that fly up there, that already live up there. And so once we get to the stadium, you'll see people kind of joining our group. We'll march from the bus straight into Stanford Stadium, and it's a really good atmosphere. We were singing, chanting. We got smoke bombs. It can get a little crazy at times. We do have an escort. I've seen some fights happen on the walk from the bus to the stadium. But once we're marching, we're the loudest ones that are there. Nobody can stop us at that point, and it's like that throughout the entire game. Like we couldn't even hear the San Jose supporters.
Awesome.
We're the loudest ones in that stadium every single time.
Yeah, Ananda, I mean, I've told you about this trip, and it breaks my heart now that I've missed it. I think the past 2 trips for sure, if not 3, and it's just bumming me out so hard because before I covered the team, this was one of my favorite trips. And when I lived in the Bay, it was great meeting up with Galaxy supporters, that would come down and catch this game. And anybody that was at the riot at Buckshaw, shout out to you. If you know. That was one of the craziest experiences that I've ever lived as a soccer fan. I mean, I've told you about it, Ananda. SWAT, dogs, helicopters, the whole 9. All the Galaxy fans getting ejected from Buckshaw in the 73rd minute. It was nutty, and that was the moment I told myself, wow, soccer might have made it here. Not that I'm condoning any kind of like violence or anything like that, but like again, if you know, you know, and it definitely wasn't Galaxy fans that started shit that day. But Christian, that's the kind of environment that you know this is the game for, you know, like this is the game for that, like that big rivalry right before LAFC San Jose was the big enemy, and this was the match that Galaxy fans got most up for. Ananda mentioned, you know, a couple different trips and iterations of this trip. I remember that at one point, this trip almost got to 1,000 people. They were trying to do the 1K to San Jose, and then COVID hit, and it just never got off the ground. So I would love to see that happen because, Christian, as we said, even with the folks that went up there, you guys made yourselves heard, and I can only imagine with 1K to San Jose, 1K or more Galaxy fans in San Jose and Stanford, it would be a time. But what was it actually like being there on the ground with San Jose supporters around you guys, and kind of like that hostility? Was there any like camaraderie? Was there any like, oh, okay, you know, we're having fun, or was it just kind of like open hostility? Was it very much like that rivalry?
Yeah, I mean, on the way to the stadium, thankfully, I mean, I didn't see anything that went down. During the game, I also didn't see anything like, you know, once we scored up until the last minute. But once, you know, once MarcinWOWski made that save, once the final whistle blew, that's when things got a little bit intense. You know, the San Jose fans started throwing water bottles at us, drinks at us. And so when that happens, you know, at a certain point, you know, people are going to clash. But it wasn't as bad as like, you know, in 2023 when I was marching to the stadium, there were full on like brawls that year, you know, that I saw. So it really just depends on the year. But definitely, you know, whenever you play a rival, the supporters groups, you never know what's going to happen. That's kind of the uncertainty of the whole thing. So if you do come to the game, you know, just got to be on the lookout, got to keep your guard up.
Head on a swivel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good advice. Good advice. Well, that's all off the field, and Christian's right. Like when I used to go to this one as a fan, there was times again that I was living in San Francisco, and I'd have to go up to San Jose and meet the Galaxy fans up there, and people would be like, I'd be walking to meet Galaxy fans by myself, and people would be like, "Don't be wearing that shit around here," blah blah blah, and I'd be like, "Dang, all right, cool, calm down. I'm not even talking to you guys. I'm just kind of walking to meet my group." But that's all off the field. Let's go ahead and talk about on the field, and let's start where we usually start, Ananda. Let's start with the starting lineup. What did you see out of this one? And then we'll kind of ask Christian if he saw any surprises in this lineup, or if anything stuck out to him. Ananda, hit us up.
Yeah, I'll go through the lineup for all the audio listeners because we do have all of you, and shout out to you guys because we're going to show you love as well. But for everyone here, I have it on the screen there. So JT MarcinWOWski, of course, the aforementioned JT MarcinWOWski in goal.
JT.
Back four of Julian Audi gets to start this time. Maya Yoshida, Justin Hack, Mickey Yamane. Again, because of the absences of Jakob Glesnes and Emilio Garces for various reasons. Midfield to trio of Lucas Sanabria, Edwin Cerillo, Marco Royce. So Marco Royce drops back into the midfield. And a front three of JP, Harbor Miller, and Robert Taylor, who gets his first start. Chose it on the right wing, although he's played pretty predominantly on the left-hand side.
You know how Greg likes his inverted wingers.
Yes, which is why he played left in Harbor, because he is a right-sided fullback. I always thought that he would be good at right wing, and that would sort of develop his skills there. But so a couple interesting changes. I did like them, but Christian, just wondering, when you saw the lineup on your phone, or when you kind of realized that these changes happened, what was going through your mind? Were you happy with them?
I mean, for who we have available, I think I was a little bit happy with it. But again, there were, you know, two defenders that were out. Taylor, I think was this his first start since we signed him.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to get him minutes. The rest of the lineup, I wasn't that surprised. But yeah, what do you guys think?
You know, I excuse me. I kind of talked to Ananda about what Vanny would have available, and like you said, the key phrase there is who's available to him, like what he had, and this is what he had. I mean, he was talking about post St. Louis. We might have to. We're gonna have what, like 11 players available, and so it wasn't a surprise. But I was more interested to see how JP would kind of respond in that false nine role, and we kind of saw that happen. But Ananda, let's go ahead and talk about a player that Sir Dave is talking about here. Miller played balls out. First off, let's go ahead and acknowledge that yes, he did play with his balls out. Yes, he did. He would talked about knowing the importance of this match, and he showed it. Ananda, what did you see from this?
Yeah, and that's why he's on our player spotlight, because I know probably JT is going to get most of the praise, most of the plaudits, even Joseph Paintil, Marco Royce. But I think Harbor, the last couple of games, really ever since the break, he has endeared himself to Galaxy fans. And so we'll do a little spotlight on him. Just going through his key stats. I'm going to start on the right-hand side for everyone that's watching on video right now. So he played the full 90. You look at those expected stats, Bob. So, of course, no goals and no assists. And you look at the expected stats, not great. Like he did 0.06. That's not much of an influence in the game. But you look at that one big chance created, and that is the chance he created ultimately for JP's first shot on goal, which he missed. But you look at all the other things in the eye test. Even his rating was not great, 6.9. It looks bang average, right? But I think when you looked at Harbor Miller's complete game, you focus on a couple things. One is 6 defensive contributions, Papa. So, of course, and remember, we're talking about a fullback playing in a forward position. And so you look at the defensive contributions and you say, that's a lot of work rate. That's a lot of hustle. He gets stuck in. I mean, that's as many defensive contributions as Edwin Cedillo, who's a defensive midfielder. So right. Putting that into perspective, he puts in the graft, he puts in the work, right? And then you look on the offensive side, 60 touches, 5 in the opposition's box, 4 passes into the final third. But the one thing that you can always say about Harbor is that he is, I think the word that we used to describe him was brave. And he showed that he showed that in the El Guerzma goal that he set up last match. And he showed that in a few occasions this time. 4 out of 8 successful dribbles is the stat there, most on the team. He's not afraid to take his man on. And for a fullback, that's super interesting, right? That's a super interesting quality to have. And now he's just showing it in the offensive positions. But I wanted to show everyone sort of like do these stills again, because I think Harbor gave the Galaxy sort of something that they really haven't seen yet in the first 2 games necessarily until he came in and gave us a different dimension. But so the first 3 I'm going to show you guys is the lead up to the first JP chance, which he missed 1v1 against the keeper. First of all, I got to give a shout out to Edwin Cedillo, because he scans and you don't see Harbor off the screen because the replay doesn't show it, but Harbor is basically in that offensive space. And Edwin Cedillo does a great job of scanning, knowing that Harbor is going to spin off his defender and go into that space. So Harbor starts his run sort of in that middle center circle area, and he's a willing runner. That's something that this team needs, is willing runners into space in the channels. We can't be playing tiki-taka. We can't be playing into feet all the time. You have to have willing runners, and that's what Harbor Miller is. And he chases that ball and wins it. And look at this, Papa. Does excellent against 2 defenders. Could have easily lost that ball. Flicks it around the defender, and there he is, JP into space. Has the knowledge and has the wherewithal to know that JP is going to run into that space. Now, unfortunately, JP misses this chance, but this is an early warning sign for San Jose. And boy, did it come a few minutes after that. Interestingly, off of a opposition free kick. So this is a free kick, header out. Robert Taylor does a really good job, by the way, of securing the ball, and he puts Harbor into space. He's in a foot race with this guy, and I didn't have the still for it because the replay pretty much shows a close up of Harbor basically flicking it around the outside of the defender, and it was really awesome. I think you guys should see that replay. Just really beautiful stuff, and that's one of those like brave moments, right, where Harbor's just like, I'm going to run through a brick wall and get to this ball before you and do everything I can to give my team an advantage. And now we're off to the races 3v2. But, Papa, for a guy that's still learning his craft, a young guy, first of all, he does a quick scan. He's like, okay, I've got JP and Marco. You've seen maybe multiple players in this position either give the ball too early, give the ball too late, maybe like wait too long. So now JP's in an offside position, but he scans and gives the perfect weight of ball into Marco because he knows Marco is going to come short while JP's going to run off the backside. So the timing here for a young guy is really to be commended. And we see how this play develops. He puts in Marco Roy short, and JP is off. Of course, Marco does a little nutmeg. Beautiful pass there, and JP finally gets his goal. But I just think this is a guy, Papa. I think this is a player that Greg's. I think he's really going to get a lot of minutes. He's going to develop really well within the Galaxy, and I'm hoping that, maybe after this year, Miki Yamane's not on the team anymore, and we've got to prepare that succession plan at right back. And Harbor Miller is definitely showing not only us in terms of following the team, but he's starting to even get some national plaudits as well, because I heard on the commentary, like, hey, Harbor Miller is showing his stuff for this team, and hopefully he develops well for the LA Galaxy.
Well, it's going to, everything we've seen out of him shows that he is, right? And he gets it. We've been saying that. He loves the Galaxy. He loves playing for the Galaxy because he grew up a Galaxy fan, and he grew up in a family where, as he said, that defending the badge and loving the badge was a non-negotiable shown to him by his father. Christian, as a Galaxy fan, when you hear a player say stuff like that, not only that he's, that he gets fighting for the badge, but that he loves the team, he grew up a fan, and fighting for the badge is a non-negotiable. What does that tell you? What does that mean to you as a fan?
I wish the rest of the players fought with the same passion that he does, game in and game out. After the game up in San Jose, I don't think the cameras showed it, but he was the last player to leave the field after he, came and, waved to the supporters. And I think he's someone who, fights for the crest. He, plays with a lot of passion. And it's frustrating because as a fan, I wish that a lot of our other players would do the same. And I think he should be something, he can be, I think, a leader just based on his play, and hopefully he continues to do that, for the rest of the season.
No, definitely. He is, I said it on the last show, Christian. Harbor is emerging as a leader in this dressing room, and he's his age. And I guess it's true what they say, like leadership or I guess aptitude and skill and just ability doesn't wait for age or being told like it's your time. Harbor is stepping into his moment, and like Ananda said, people are starting to stand up and take notice of Harbor. And not only is he a fantastic player, but he's been a fantastic interview and somebody fantastic to cover as well. So along those lines, I wasn't really, I was kind of checked out more on this game. And so I got kind of lived it more by secondhand and osmosis, but you were there, right? So what would you say is, as we roll into this match summary, what would you say, aside from MarcinWOWski, was the story of this match, Christian? Was it the fact that the Galaxy, put in some fight, or was it, the fact that they, maybe almost lost this one again? What would you say?
I think it's frustrating because the way that they played in this game, I think San Jose had they won the possession battle, and for the Galaxy, they have 5 wins on this season. I think four of those wins, the Galaxy have given up possession. Like, they've been happy to sit back, play counter, and I think that's what I want to see more. I think this team is best as a counter-attacking team. I think they're playing the way Vanny's, has set the team up. they play with possession, but I'm not sure that's where they're the best. And so
No.
it's a double. It's like it's frustrating because yeah, they did fight. They played defense for a lot of that game, and they got a lot of deflections, which is the thing that I noticed for that entirety of the game was they got deflections from the ball. They took San Jose out of rhythm at times. But I just wish going forward, like they looked comfortable in defense for this game, and I think that they should be doing that, especially based on the personnel that they're missing right now. I just think them being a counterattacking team is where that they're going to have the most success at.
Christian, you're not wrong. Ananda's presented the data that supports that proves that basically. I think the only one that wasn't true for was St. Louis. I think that the Galaxy had a slightly more possession, but I could be wrong on that. It was one of the recent 2 losses. I'm not remembering which one of the 2, but it was one of the 2. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The Galaxy looks better when they're a counterattacking transition team. They cede possession. And that's what happened in this one. I mean, the Galaxy, if you guys didn't watch the match, just like your host did not, the Galaxy ran away with a 1-1 draw. They did open the scoring. San Jose picks them back, but MarcinWOWski becomes the hero, and they open the scoring through Joseph Painso in the 13th minute. Painso had an early chance, a one-on-one chance, but he shoots wide. That's a couple games in a row that Painso has an early chance and he misses wide, or he scuffs his shot. But that wasn't the only thing that was a repeat. The Galaxy go ahead and give up the corner kick or free kick goal. Galaxy again giving up goals off of free kicks or off of restarts here, and just you got to look at this play and scratch your head and think that there's a couple different opportunities to clear, but it doesn't happen, and the Galaxy go ahead and then this 1-1 after JT MarcinWOWski saves a 94th minute penalty that he himself gives up. He runs out the hero for the Galaxy, and he makes the team of the week. So that was your match summary. Guys, there's been a ton of California Clásicos, and looking at some match stats now, the Galaxy lead the series 29-19. That was MarcinWOWski's first start against his former team. Remember, Galaxy fans, that MarcinWOWski was a Earthquakes homegrown academy player and had 95 starts in 5 seasons with the Earthquakes, and really lost his starting job because of a devastating injury. Painso scored his 4th goal of the season, and as we've mentioned, Taylor made his first start, and Mayoshida getting the captain's armband back for this match. Ananda, we talked about how when the Galaxy cedes possession, and Christian talked about it as well, and it's interesting that this is also your one key stat for the evening.
Yeah. I mean, Christian pretty much teed it up, but now the Galaxy are now 5-3-3 when having less than 50% possession. They're still winless when they have more than 50% possession. And I think, Rob, you mentioned the game against St. Louis. They had less, but they didn't win. That's also because we got a red card in the 60th minute. So I kind of chalk it up to, there's probably a reason for that. And of course, really the big one here is my one key stat is not only the possession, but 5 huge saves from Mr. JT MarcinWOWski. I thought he was, again, that's why I like, the title of the show, the title card is all about JT, because you look at those stats, man, like the San Jose was dominant. They were dominant in almost every statistical category. They really, I think they were really on the front foot, and God, what would have happened if they had Preston Judd, who was their leading goal scorer, available for this game. But again, you got to play what's in front of you. You look at even that expected goals number, 2.6 to 0.7 for the Galaxy. But again, credit to the Galaxy, right? Amongst all this pressure, they were able to withstand it, thanks to JT and sort of the resilience of the back four and the hustle and tracking back of guys like Harbor Miller. Even Robert Taylor put in a shift. Marco Royce put in a few tackles. So I think you got to credit the Galaxy on this one. But Baba, looking at this, getting to our talking points, like this, like looking at the 3 games and as a set, right? And you look at the 3 games now, coming back from the World Cup break, like I think this should be at least the minimum baseline, the minimum performance level from this team. Like this should be the level of competitiveness, not 2-3-0 or 3-1 losses, getting completely blown out, and at home, by the way, with not even a chance or a fighting chance or being competitive in those games. Like, and I think a lot of that has to do with even from the off. Like I thought the starting 11, it was a default starting 11, but it just looked more balanced, right? You put Marco back in the 10. Now he's pulling the strings from a midfield position, not in a starting number 9 or a false 9 position. JP now as the number 9. He has that mobility and running into space, and especially against a Bruce Arena man-to-man coverage, you're going to find those spaces, right? Now, if we're playing against a deep block, maybe a different story. But in this particular match, JP against that man-to-man 100% helped. And, Greg's game plan, I'm going to give credit now to Greg on this, because
people are going to crucify you.
Hey, I can only react to what I see in the 90 minutes. And I'm going to, call it like it is and not have agendas or anything like that blind my vision. And
don't lie. You're a Greg apologist, just like people tell me all the time.
Exactly. Ask better questions. Anyways, yeah. So, we've got, we or the Galaxy off the jump, they were good, right? JP got those early chances. He probably should have had 2-3 goals. I mean, yeah. I'm sure, Christian, you guys in the stands were like, man, can this guy like bury a chance? If he was a clinical finisher, how good would the Galaxy be? But you know what? Credit to him. He got in those spaces. Again, the team looked more organized, and Christian talked about bunkering down defensively. And I think this is what you were trying to get at a little bit, Christian, but like, we know there's a talent deficit on this team. Like, we know that this team is incomplete. We know that we're only playing with 1 DP. There is still a DP size hold on this roster. There's probably a midfielder, another attacker. So when you have a talent deficit like that, you expect a level of competitiveness. And I feel like in this game we got it. In the first 2 we didn't. But I feel like in this game, this is the bare minimum that fans should expect from the LA Galaxy, at least for this one, until they get reinforcements hopefully, in the next week or so.
Speaking of reinforcements here, we do have a $5 super chat here from the homie Big Lex. What's up, Big Lex? Thank you for being here with us again. I love your picture here, by the way, looking like el mero mero James Bond ahí en su traje. I love it. We got a super chat. Gracias. And we'll go ahead and kick this one to Christian, because as a fan, we've had a lot of talk about this rumor of Mohamed Salah here. So Lex says 442 for 2027. Kyogo, Klaus, Painso, Puig, Sanabria, Salah, Nelson, Hack, Glessens, Miller, JT. First off, what do you think of this 442?
Yeah,
and then and then second off, how do you feel about the potential incoming of Salah? Would you go ahead and bust this one?
I mean, I think if you have a chance to get Salah, you get him and figure out where you're going to put him. At the same time, though, like, do I trust Vanny to put him in the good position? Like, no. As someone who's dealt with Vanny, like, I'm done with Vanny. Like, I think I speak for a lot of fans. But, I don't think Vanny, when he's changed lineups, I don't think it's been good for the team. So it's sort of like, I don't know what to think about that. If you get Salah, like, definitely go out and get him if you can get him. But at the same time, I wouldn't expect much until we see him play multiple games.
This would be a bang-on lineup, like Kyogo's mobility with Klaus's strength and hold-up play, and then you have Painstill's speed, Puig's creativity, Sanabria's steal there in the middle, and Salah's technique and finishing, and then and then really just hope your defense kind of holds on. I'm liking this 4-4-2. It makes too much sense. It'll never happen. Sorry, man. That's just. Haven't you been paying attention for the past couple of years? You know what it is. But anyway, it'd be great to see, right? Maybe we'll see it once for like 20 minutes when the Galaxy's down like 4-0 in a game, and then and then we'll be told like, see, it didn't work. We tried it, and it didn't work.
Yeah, it's definitely that lineup's definitely not happening with Gray. That's a 4-3-3 all day. Now, if you have if you have Wilfred Nancy here, that's a 3-5-2 all day. So there's different horses for different courses.
Right. But Ananda, I think you're right, man. I mean, this kind of performance, and Christian, you kind of jump in here because, Galaxy fans have been very vocal this year about we want better and about what they want. And so it's interesting. It's gratifying to see them go out and put in this kind of fighting performance. But as Ananda said, it should be the minimum, right? It should be what you get day in and day out. You mentioned that you kind of felt like you wish that everybody was like Harbor. Kind of give voice to that frustration right now. I mean, do you think that is true, that most fans are feeling like the team isn't given the effort, or do you think it's that they realize that there is that talent deficit on the team and they're just more dissatisfied with the results? Like, which one do you think is more true?
I mean, it's hard to choose one over the other. I think they're both true. I think there's been too many disappointments this season from individuals. I mean, you look at Garces. Like, Garces has made a lot of individual mistakes, and I think he oftentimes when he's playing, he doesn't think for the team. I think he's trying to make a highlight in some cases and ends up getting a red card, or tries to one up a ref and gets a red card. I just think that it's when you're not winning, it's easy to point fingers at the players, at the coach, but I think that's kind of what we expect. Like, we want to win. I know it sucks that we don't have the players that we had 2 years ago, but at a certain point, it's up to the coaching staff, management, the players to move past, the team that we once had. And at this point, I don't think we've seen enough to say that they haven't done enough to move past that.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I love when people set me up for segues, and that was a perfect segue to a question for you and chat, Christian. I mean, you kind of already answered it, but was this result, was the 1-1, was the fight they showed in this one enough in the context of the season that they've been having and bookended by last year's season, right? I mean, it's the second game in a row that the Galaxy have led, and they haven't been able to hold on to the lead. The last one was against Houston, the last game before the break of the season. 10 big chances conceded in the last 3 matches, only 1 win in the last 6 games, 2 points out of the playoff position. We'll talk about the standings here in a moment. But I mean, yeah, Christian, I mean, chat, you guys can chime in here as well. I mean, the standings here, we have them. They're showing a Galaxy team that, like Lex said in the chat a moment ago, Galaxy picked up a point and still dropped down a place. They're in 11th now after 18 matches, 21 points, 1.17 points per game, 5-7-6 record, 24 goals for, 29 against, a -5 goal differential. Christian, is this performance enough in the context of the season? Could it be that this performance is maybe a turning point? Maybe the fight showed, and in the good moment, the moment showed by MarcinWOWski spurs him to bigger things? Or do you think it's just a moment?
I mean, in the context of the season, if I had to give an answer, I'd say it's just a moment. I think the team has looked better on the road than they have been at home, and I think that's the problem. Is they just can't seem to get results at home, and they have a lot of home games from now until the end of the season. So if they're going to turn the corner, it's going to be at home. I think they've showed fight on the road, but there's always things that don't go their way. You know, I was up at the Portland game back in March, and that's when they had a man up for like
Ooh.
75 minutes in that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
And that was sort of, I think, a vision into how much they struggled just offensively. Um, I think looking at the start of the season, you know, the defenders that they brought in, Lesnes and Hawk, even without, you know, Ricky for a second straight year, I was, you know, telling myself like, hey, like this team could be a defensive team who can grind out, you know, 2-1 wins, and they just haven't shown that. And so I think,
No.
you know, it's already August next week. And so they're running out of time. I think they need to start picking up home wins, or nothing's going to happen this season.
Again. Well, we already went through the standings here, guys. I mean, and really, we've talked about him a lot. I mean, the moment of the match here is JT's save, and if he doesn't make the save, the Galaxy walk away in this match with nothing. And after all their hard work in this one, they walk away with nothing. It would have been very cruel, but it also would have been very Galaxy-like. But it left us no debate on who the number one goalkeeper for the Galaxy is. As much as Mitrovic, I mean, Greg said it himself the other day. He said Mitrovic was fine, and he looked kind of downcast when he said he was like he was fine. I still think that Greg quite honestly prefers MarcinWOWski, and he showed why. So with all that in mind, let's go ahead and Christian, help us pick a defending the badge candidate here. And I'm not sure you know how defending the badge works, but it's not specifically who was the best player. It was the one who showed the most hustle, the most heart, represented the colors the most, knew what it meant to play against this San Jose team. We have a couple of candidates, of course. JT MarcinWOWski, who made the penalty save, Harbor Miller, who we've talked on tonight, JP, who scored the goal, and Marco Royce, who served up the goal. But you're welcome to pick any Galaxy player that you would like, or as we have had to do on a couple of occasions, you can also pick Greg Vanney. I don't know if you want to do that.
That's not happening.
Okay, well, I'm just putting out the option for you. You can also pick Don Raul and Cosmo.
Or you can pick the security escort that got you guys to and from the stadium safely.
Got you safely, right? While you think on that for 1 second, we're gonna go ahead and go to this super chat by the homie Leo. $10 super chat. Muchas gracias, Leo. Thank you for being here with us once again. Shout out to you and the missus. Felicidades as well. You guys are so newlyweds in our book, so it's still worth congratulating you guys. So he says, keep saying for the past 2 years, you would think they would change the system to benefit the players we have available and not towards just Ricky. We wish some players time with us. Yeah, I mean, you're not the only one to kind of mention that, Leo. I mean, other people were saying here in chat that it was kind of good that the Galaxy were shorthanded. I think it was Big Lex was saying that it kind of forced Greg to play what he had to play with, So yeah, you're not wrong. Thank you, Big Leo, for your super chat, your comment. Christian, now that you had a moment to think about this, defending the badge, who are you giving it to?
I got to give it to Harbor Miller. I mean, we talked about him a lot. I think his energy, like you said, especially since the break in each of the 3 games, he's been the one that has high energy for the entire game. He shows up for the crest, and hopefully we continue to see that going into these last 3 months of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be an important 3 months. Like you said, time is running out. Christian, you are very right. It's going to be the business end of the season here pretty soon, and they got to get these reinforcements in to help the team. Ananda, who's your defending the badge?
Yeah, I mean, Harbor is up there, but I'm not going to be contrarian for contrarian's sake. I'm going to give it to JT. I mean, not only on the pitch, but there. So obviously there's the penalty, but man, he made a lot of really good saves. Like
He did.
meaning like nothing spectacular, like a full dive or a full send one way or the other, but positionally he's just a lot better than Mitrovic. And like I remember there was a couple of those press conferences, Rob, when we asked Greg about we as a collective, not us individually, but like we, the press corps asking Greg about Novak, and he said, yeah, there's a couple saves. He said it without saying it, but there's a couple saves that Novak probably should have made. But JT seems to be in the right position to make the save more than one occasion. And the other thing I'll say about JT too is I love his communication, like his leadership. He is very vocal, maybe not to the level of a John McCarthy, but he is a presence. Like he makes his voice heard. And
JT
I remember
MarcinWOWski.
Exactly. And I remember there's a couple of occasions where we were trying to play out the back, and him and Edwin Cedillo got their lines crossed, and they gave up. Like this was early in the first half. They gave up like really silly balls, like in their own half. And JT has accountability. Like he looked to Edwin and he was like, "Okay, hey, like I don't know what I'm sure they talked about it. They talked about the situation to rectify it for next time, but he's just got that presence, and I think you need that in a goalkeeper." And man, you know what? Like he's kind of like the John McCarthy type where he does nothing spectacular, but by the way, his stats are really good before when he was in San Jose, but you could see him as a championship winning keeper. Like he can be a starter for a really good team in this league. And I think that's what we're slowly finding out. And I don't think this is good news for Novak Mitrovic too. So yeah, JT for me, man.
Well, we've seen a lot of departures, and a lot of people in chat are talking about how, it might be curtains for Mitrovic. Good guy. I just don't think he ever lived up to the billing. And Greg wanted him to happen super, super bad. I mean, Greg.
Yeah, you don't spend $1 million on a keeper without wanting it to happen, right?
And you don't spend $1 million on a keeper and then spend 2 years like pushing him, and then having a goalkeeper controversy for over 2 years. If you're not trying to get him to work, and it feels like it just didn't. And JT is making that kind of that argument a little bit superfluous anyway. So, good on JT. I think I got as much as he saves the Galaxy's bacon. You know what it is, Ananda. It's not about individual plays. It's not about how good you played. It's about how much love you show for the colors and how much you represent and how much you fight for them. And I think Christian's right. I mean, you gotta go Harbor, man. You gotta go Harbor.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go a certain way with that. I thought it's how much you show for the crest. So I'm gonna give it to Christian and all the Galaxy fans that were up in Stanford. Salute to you guys for sure.
Well, that goes without saying. You guys get the defending the badge, but no, I mean, I got to give it to Harbor, man. He's been consistent. After that loss against St. Louis, I mean, he came out and spoke like a vet, like a leader, and consistently going out there and not only putting in the work, but he had the hockey assist in this one. He's playing again like a man that's been a league veteran for a couple years now. So mine's for Harbor, and I think that's where we wrap it up today, boys. Christian, for the folks, please go ahead if you want to. That is, I mean, if you're more of a private person, that's quite all right as well. If you'd like to, go ahead and tell the folks where they can find you on the socials, where they can find your work, where they can find your shots. And yeah, take it away.
Yeah, you guys could find me on Instagram at ChristianXYs. Make sure to stop by Outlaws tailgates every single game. Come have some drinks with us, sit with us. Follow our Instagram, Galaxy_Outlaws. And once you guys join us, you guys won't want to see anywhere else in the stadium.
Hey, there we go. Christian, thank you so much for being here with us. I mean, we had one of the homies of the show, Dylan, stop by for a quick moment. Shout out to the COC boys as well. If you guys haven't had a chance, go ahead and check them out. But he stopped by and he said, elite guest choice. I think he was very right. Thank you so much for being here with us. It was a pleasure. Shout out to Manny for making the connection as well. Shout out to Outlaws. Shout out to all the supporter groups out there. showing love to the Galaxy. And shout out to the Galaxy community. Christian, thank you so much. Stop by anytime, open invitation. We'll see you in the stadium, man.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, appreciate you, bro. Maji, thank you so much. We will see you soon. And guys, that is Christian Wise from Outlaws with his views basically on the ground from San Jose and that 1-1 Galaxy tie with the late JT MarcinWOWski heroics. But like I said, Ananda, I mean, that pretty much wraps us up. Do you have anything else to add before we get on out of here?
I only just want to leave with one thing. I think if you look at the Galaxy's upcoming schedule, Papa, July was not kind to the Galaxy. Obviously, losing the 2 home games. Christian brought up being a better home team, and that's what they're going to have to be. Now they have 3 road games in August. But man, like, this is a big stretch coming up for the Galaxy. I'm not going to say this is the total make or break, because I think after these 5 games, the Galaxy will have played 24 games, if I'm not mistaken. So that's that going into that 10-game stretch run that Greg always circles on his calendar, right? The most important 10 games heading into the season. But Papa, like, you look at that stretch, 3 games on the road, the Galaxy can't afford to lose many points from now and then. Now, I know the roster is still getting put together. They've got some reinforcements coming in, but you can't be losing points, especially at home. So you look at that Dallas game even coming up. You've got to pick up points, right? And you've got to try not to lose on the road and pick up points on the road. Again, Christian said it, in the context, like, it was a good moment, but in larger context of the season, like, you probably wanted 3 points on the road. But in a normal season, a point away at San Jose is never a bad thing, right? But the Galaxy, the most important thing here is the Galaxy has to now start picking up points, especially as they're waiting for reinforcements. You can't fall too far away from the playoff line, which right now the Galaxy have 1 game played more than a lot of their competition, and they're still 2 games out of a playoff spot. So this August stretch, I think, for me, is super important. They can't let it slip away too far, especially. And I think once the signings come in, I think things will sort of level out, and I think will get better, but they have to brace and pick up points along the way.
Well, bring that one back real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't seem likely that you're going to get Kyogo or any of the new signings in before this game against Dallas, but then you have a 2-week window.
Yes, you do.
In which Kyogo can come in, start training with the team if he's not already. But by this point, by the weekend anyway,
and then the DP, most importantly.
Exactly. That's where I was going with that. You have a 2-week window to sign a DP, sign a U22, get them to bed in with the team, and those are the difference makers. And then hit that home stretch with aplomb and with basically a new look Galaxy side with a DP, with a new U22 as well. You're expecting Klaus back mid-August as well, so it's basically like you're getting. If you do get that DP in, if you do get that U22 win, and you do get Klaus back, and you're getting Kyogo back, it's basically like
getting 3 DPs.
Yeah, and then you also got Taylor back as well. I mean not back, but you also got Taylor signed as well. You are getting. Greg was right. I mean, 3 to 5 players. Yeah, he's not wrong. So I mean, hopefully the Galaxy do pull it off. Hopefully they do pull off that DP signing that everybody wants. I mean, Salah might be heating up, but a lot of people, seem to think that it's going to be Sporting Kansas City.
I was going to say too, really quick. I know we didn't touch on it, but there are a couple of loose transfer rumors. I know there's a goalkeeper rumor out there. I know there is that defensive midfielder, Irish one. That was and Uruguayan también. But we're just waiting for maybe some more concrete news. Like I'm honestly just waiting for the stash bomb to drop at any point. Of course, there's a loose report out there from Turkey saying that an MLS club is in for Mo Salah, and we don't know who that is yet. So once we get the more concrete news on that, we will share with you guys, and I'm sure Josh and all the other podcasts have talked about it. So, but we will keep you guys, of course, updated, and of course, if you guys do subscribe to the channel and you follow us on all our socials, you will get those notifications. And
What? Did you say the magic word? Did you say subscribe?
yeah, exactly. Subscribe,
Oh,
smash the
shit.
likes, all that good stuff. We are on our way to 1,000. So, guys, we love your support.
Oh, shit.
And we thank you for it. But yeah, that's I'm just waiting for that stash bomb, Papa. Waiting for the stash bomb.
Yeah, it would be great to wake up to the
La
news.
bomba.
Yeah, La Bomba that Mohamed Salah had at Turn the Galaxy, or a fantastic player that Wilkins and co owners. It could happen, like JP said, and not paid so, but JP from anyway. If you know, you know. But anyway, let's go ahead and close this one out, guys. We will go ahead and give you a TBD for Thursday. We have a couple of scheduling things to work out, but we'll let you know what's going on for Thursday. And if not, we will be back with you the following Monday as the Galaxy, of course, take on Dallas this weekend. And so if we don't see you on Thursday, then we will definitely see you on Monday, which would be the 3rd, August 3rd. So we'll be back with you very soon. And until we are, I think that's pretty much it, right, Ananda?
Yes, sir. Other than just thank you as always to chat. We love y'all, Cuneros. And yeah, hopefully the G's can get some 3 points, man. Before that 2-week break, that would be huge, right? Especially at home. We got to pick up points. Can't be dropping more points now at home. That's speaking of non-negotiables, that is a non-negotiable, like Harbor said. So yeah, got to pick up points at home.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's been way too long. Last time the Galaxy picked up 3 points at home was April 26th against Real Salt Lake in a 2-1 win. That is a long time. That's 3 months ago. So hopefully it happens this weekend. But we'll go ahead and say our prayers tonight and make sure that we can go ahead and add to the good vibes. And we will see you guys next time on another episode of La Cuna Galaxiana. And I think there's only one thing left to say, yeah?
Dale.
Cheese up!